Back on the TYT Sports, another Cavs vs. Warriors installment, the second one, which I really love how the Christmas Day game meant everything, and it had so much implications. It was the first rematch since the finals, and now this one happens, and the regular, or I should say the consensus is, doesn't mean anything. Why? Why does it not mean anything? Why is this game different than any of the other games between the Warriors and the Cavs? The correct answer is it's not. It meant a lot to the Golden State Warriors. They had to come out and win. It prevented them from losing to the Cavs 5 straight times.
This is exactly the type of offensive powerhouse we expected from the Golden State Warriors when they signed Kevin Durant. But there's also a few talking points you got to consider. Like Steph Curry started to look like his old self again, right? He's not been playing very well. We know that in comparison to what we expect Steph Curry to do. Steve Kerr made some changes that I thought was helped by some adjustments that the Cavs had to make. Kyrie Irving picked up a couple of early fouls, but I thought that overall the Golden State Warriors adjusted better. Did the simple things better, and they were shooting, 44.1% from three?
You're not going to beat a team.
Yeah, they're just playing, when they shoot that well, you know it's one of those nights. And unfortunately, what happens when you play against the Golden State Warriors in that type of way is you need to, at times, be focused more so on just making shots a little bit more difficult in transition basketball, but the Cavs were trying to play them at their own game. They don't like to adjust to play against a team to try and nullify their biggest strengths. They want to be like, all right, we'll go tit for tat. We've got Kyle Korver in the mix now. He comes on for Kevin Love, who goes off injured. And we've got to try and mix it with you guys. We can shoot from the three as well, but they were shooting like 32%. So I just think overall it was a very tough game to try and beat that Warriors team, you know?
Yeah, look, they all correct. They threw a lot at LeBron.
Yeah.
They kept physically switching double teams on him occasionally, making Kyrie go one-on-one. They actually fed Kyrie the idea, but Draymond Green seemed to have now figured out in that one game how to contain him getting to the rim.
Yeah.
It was not Kyrie ripping the hearts out of Warriors fans for a third straight game. In this case, they had a good handle on him. The Warriors look very good in chaos, and that's something that they did very well last year, the 73-win season, was deflected passes turned into acrobatics, saving the ball from going out of bounds, turns into Steph Curry hitting a 27-foot three-pointer. Those were falling to the rate of, 44-ish% from three-point land. So when the Warriors' offensive juggernaut gets going like that, yeah, that's what that game is going to look like. And I do think, and I'm already getting to the point of like a 7-game series, like what we're probably spearheaded towards for the finals. I do think in another set of 7-game series is you're going to see games like that, where when the Warriors win, they win by 30. And I think when the Cavs win those games, they're going to win by 5 or 6. It's going to be closer. Draymond Green and LeBron, it was a hard foul and it was a bad flop. It's both.
They both happen.
And Draymond following the foul, let the Warriors home fans know that it was a good acting job. Here is Draymond right afterwards.
At Oklahoma City, Marv, I know this for a fact. Jefferson is.
It's funny.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, Draymond is close-lining LeBron. He can't do that. Oh, LeBron, he's flopping. He can't do. They both are at fault. They're both wrong. They both should be booed and made fun of and turned into a meme for it.
Yeah, and they both add to the already tense atmosphere that's there. Like these both teams don't like each other. Draymond Green and LeBron James have been going at it. This happened last year when there was a confrontation between them. This game has, if you don't believe that this has a lot riding on it, it upset the most calmest of figures in Steph Curry last year when he, of course, tossed his mouth guard. So it does mean a lot to these guys. Where I disagree, not even with what you're saying, but where I disagree with the fact that I don't think it means as much the difference in scoreline. Like they could win by 80, they could win by 3. I think the win is all that matters.
Just the win.
Because it's not going to happen. You're absolutely right. When it comes to a 7-game series, or when they inevitably, which I think will meet each other in the NBA championships this year again, you're going to have that exact same kind of pattern. You're going to see the Golden State Warriors more likely to blow anyone out. But the difference is the Cavs are not going to take this as such a hard loss. They're going to see it as the same way they lose by 2 or 3 points. It's a game that they didn't do the simple things well, and they deserve to lose this game. So I think they'll easily bounce back. But I love the added atmosphere that goes into it.
What we're agreeing with here, and what I find frustrating, I'm going to go first to Coward's tweet, which is number 3. And look, I like Colin Coward a lot, but sometimes I think in this case, this is a lot of what people think. That game tonight means everything. Base all your NBA opinions on it, which he's being sarcastic on Twitter, which has always worked so well in 140 characters or less. With Coward, though, it's interesting because one of the guys he has on to counter a lot of his points is Nick Wright, and Nick Wright was the one who immediately after the Christmas Day games was like, that's 4 straight wins. That's devastating for the Warriors. They need to get a win over the Cavs. And what people seem to are missing with this Warriors team this year is that while they have one of the best records, or the best record in the NBA, they were struggling against very good teams. The Cavs they hadn't beaten to this point. The Rockets they hadn't beaten. The Grizzlies they hadn't beaten. I guess I'm giving the Grizzlies a lot of credit, and some of their losses has come against good teams, whereas the Cavs are one of those teams that are just hanging over them, and you don't want to continuously get beat by the team who came back 3-1 in the finals to beat you.
Yeah.
It means something to the Warriors. It meant something to the league, and in general, it was also turned into a meme. I guess I'll wrap up before you get to your final points here, Francis, with element number 2. The internet is quick. They are very quick. I mean, so quick it happened a minute after. It was like 6:15 p.m. West Coast time, and then, no!
That's insane.
No, LeBron.
The internet is undefeated. They
82-0 every year.
all these games is they always mean something because they're homework. Like when you have 80-plus games in a season in which you're playing a ridiculous amount of teams and you're having to put yourself through a ridiculous, grueling process where you have to deal with fatigue and deal with the things that you have to come up against when it comes to a full calendar year. These games are important because you're trying to find out your opponent's weaknesses. So this is the same thing. Any good team will look at this game and they'll break down the video footage and find out why, in this example, the Golden State Warriors were able to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the same team will go in the opposite way. They'll look at this tape and they'll take it as homework. It's case study because these are two teams that they're not going to underestimate any opponent they play against, but they are looking into the future because you have to do it when you've got so many games. You can't focus everything on every single game, but if you're losing a game by this, you have to focus on the certain things that you did wrong in this game. And if you're the Golden State Warriors, it's not surprising that Steve Kerr was experimenting with a couple of different things because he's trying to find out why this team this year are different and can beat this team that they lost to last year.
Well, now that it's Kyle Korver's team after a recent power struggle with LeBron, Tyronn Lue, and Korver, it seems like they're going to get it underway. LeBron made a ridiculous pass that Korver did not finish. And you go like, man,
you got to do it.
They didn't send a draft pick to Atlanta for nothing. How dare they? My biggest point as I wrap up with this, you are not allowed to say that Christmas Day meant everything and MLK Day meant nothing to the Golden State Warriors and Cleveland Cavs. Nothing to do with the actual, it's like, what are they, only playing on holidays? Memorial Day will be the next installment of the Cavs versus the Warriors. President's Day.
If you think this didn't mean anything or blah, 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 whatever way, what we can all agree is that this is another example of the stupid argument that people make when they're like, we don't want to see another Golden State Warriors Cavs game. No. When it comes to talented basketball and some of the most remarkable plays in the game, I think I'm happy to see
I think it was like 25.7 million people tuned into Game 7, so I think I'll go with about 25.7 million people want to see that.
Absolutely.
Just roughly, ballparking.